Love the touch but never love the feeling. Why do I, baby, why do I? Love the way you are, would always leave me. Why do I, baby, why do I? Love the touch but never love the feeling. Staying up when I go out, you gotta know I'm all yours. But when I say what's that about, you start slurring your words. Tell me why you have to seem so distant when I'm holding you. Your fingertips are drifting away, and I fucking love how it hurts. Why do I, baby, why do I? Love the way you are, will always leave me. Why do I, baby, why do I? Love the touch but never love the feeling. Why do I, baby, why do I? Love the way you are, will always leave me. Why do I, baby, why do I? Love the touch but never love the feeling. Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Why do I, baby, why do I? Love the touch but never love the feeling.
Hold on, just let us escape and fly away tonight.
Again, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. See you again. See you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? We have a whole bunch of awesome people over here in the chat. Let's go ahead and get some shout outs. First, going to kick it off to Michael Porter, one of our resident members, and appreciate you supporting the channel, sir. And those of you that want to support the channel, go ahead and become a member of the channel. Support us through the off season. We're going to provide you guys with a lot of recruiting updates, information as the season kind of unwinds. We're going to do post-game reactions, post-game reviews. How did everything work out? So don't think just because the game is over that the channel stops. It doesn't stop. Pretty early on in the season, we'll when we get into National Signing Day, the official final signing day, we're going to talk about who ended up where. There's tons of stuff that's going to go in the transfer portal, transfer throughout the offseason. So we're going to talk about that too. We're also going to talk about who's going to have the #1 recruiting class. It's really a toss-up at this point. We can talk about that. We're going to talk about some of the trolls and what they think they're doing versus what they're actually doing. We're going to talk about the Georgia Alabama game. Definitely going to talk about that. It's going to be a big one. But we're also going to talk about the games that have been played. So there's a lot of stuff we're going to get into. We're going to kind of give an analytical analysis as best we can. We're going to try and take some of the homerism out of it. Peanut Roll Tide is just begging for some of my attention. So he says, Georgia fan, ain't you tired of losing? Last time I checked there, Peanut Roll Tide, you guys have as many losses as we do this season. And the only loss we have is to a ranked team. Well, ranked in the top 5. So, yeah, you guys lost to Texas A&M. So I wouldn't be bragging too much. Now, I'm just saying. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Alex MLD, what's going on, buddy? You used to be a member. What happened, sir? Didn't see that thing next to your name there. I was wondering if something had happened. Thomas T-Bone, how you doing, sir? We're simulcast, triple cast, whatever you want to call it. We're broadcasting on my channel, Big Dog Brett. You can find me by searching YouTube, Big Dog Brett, the Voice of College Football SEC channel, and the Voice of College Football, the Georgia channel. Go over there and check out Mark Rogers. Sign up for his channel in the offseason. He provides information. I don't think this guy ever sleeps. Information on pretty much every college football team you can imagine. I struggle to keep up with the Georgia stuff. He does it all. He's also gotten together with a ton of other YouTube content creators to help provide content. So you can get a lot of information from a lot of different sources on just a couple of sites. Also, go over and check out Mr. Chip Towers. As you guys saw earlier, we put out a video today. We interviewed him yesterday in regards to some of the inner workings at UGA and what he saw from his standpoint. We are going to talk about stats in a minute, so don't forget about that. Let's see who else is over here. Ram Dog, how you doing? RJ all day. Pizza Woman, Booty Sniper, Hummus Hero, or is it Hummus Hero? Probably Hummus. Yeah. George, where you been, George? I ain't seen you in a minute or two, buddy. Stetson keeps blinking in Morse code. There's something wrong with you. Pizza Woman says the champ is here. Also, don't forget, guys, in the off season, we're going to be doing the Slob Olympics. This trophy will not be up for grabs because it is going to stay solidly in my possession. I don't know what to tell y'all. Nobody else even comes close. I am the Slob champion. Proved it the first time, and I will forever be the premier Slob champion. No one will ever be first again. It will always be second best. Hey, Alex, he re-upped. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you so much. Card expired. Well, I got to stay on you, man. What's up, UGA boy? The Rod Fava. How you doing, sir? Buckeye fan here. Thank you, Georgia, for beating that team up north. Not a problem, sir. Our pleasure. Glad to do it for you. Hello from Chattanooga. What's going on, Edward? Thank you, sir, for being here. Yeah. Hummus spelled differently than humus here, Brad. Yeah, Brad. Who's Brad? Anybody? I don't see no Brad in the chat. Got to work on that fella. His English and spelling abilities are staggeringly difficult. One of the things I do want to point out to you guys is that we are looking to break the 5K mark by the time of the end of the season. It's something we've been pushing for all season. What's up, Kangaroo Black? I've seen your comments on a few of the other videos, sir. How you doing? I appreciate you joining the live stream. We're trying to get to 5K by the end of the season. If this is the second time you've watched one of my videos, it's worth subscribing. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're going to continue to make the comment and content as we move forward. 5K is a big mark for me. I've been trying to get there all season, and we're about 250 away. Totally doable. I just need you guys to hit the button. That's all. It's free. So who could bench press more, Kirby Smart or Stetson Bennett? I'm not sure, and I don't think it matters. So one of the things I do want to jump out and share with you guys, after speaking with Chip Towers, thank you, Ryan Jackson, much appreciated, sir. This we're gonna leave this up for a while. Oh, where's that? There we go. That's my favorite comment of the night so far. Appreciate that, sir. Hit the like button, you demons. That's what Pizza Woman says. Of course, I can't pronounce the words properly, so I'm just going to say it like that. Woo! There's Trenches. Get it for me, cuz. Woo! Hey, by the way, Trenches, I need to get with you tomorrow at some point. I have an idea for a video. I'm going to need your help. And, yeah, it's going to be weird. I'm going to make it weird, dude. I'm going to make it weird. So I just deal with that. Anyway. Somebody help out Humorous Hero and let him know that the name of the channel is actually listed. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen multiple times. He still can't get it right, so somebody help him out. Oh, by the way, yeah, appreciate that, Trenches. The talking with some people who have been in and around the JT Daniels situation. I'm not going to put out the information I have out there because I don't repeat rumors until I can verify myself. And this happens to be a rumor that I cannot verify. However, it is probably the most believable rumor. And I use that term loosely because it very well could be accurate. I have to use rumor until verified. But as to why JT Daniels is not playing, what I heard today makes complete sense. And it falls along the glass cannon theory, and I will leave it at that. If you don't know what a glass cannon is, go see if your Google's broken. You can check it. Alex MLD says, very good video with Chip, sir. Got me through grilling my chicken. Yeah, that video was actually really appreciate Chip taking the time to make that video. He jumped in between about 5 different calls, and he's crazy busy. So I really appreciate him taking the opportunity to reach out to us and get that lined up. Looks like Alabama going to win another one. That is yet to be seen, sir. A lot to talk about with that, and we will get into it. Tristan Bryant says, I wonder how confident UGA fans are about the game. If anybody is super confident about this game, there's something wrong with them. Boy, look at Trenches getting called out. Getting called out in the chat. Boy, they love you, Trenches. They love you, brother. Okay, so here's some of the things I wanted to address. Number one, yes, I'm going to make an entire video all about the Georgia versus Alabama game. It is not going to be a video where I am trash talking Alabama, and it's not going to be a video where I'm hyping up Georgia, making Georgia sound like a monster and bust through a wall and all this other stuff. What I do want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about a little bit tonight, and I'm going to make some more in the video. Hang on, I got to read this chat. It says, no, it's okay, Derek. We'll talk about that later. Heath Dillon says, I just want to congratulate Georgia over the victory over Michigan. As a Michigan fan, at least our magical season ended losing to a better team. Good luck in the national championship game. That guy right there, that's a classy guy. That is a true fan with some real class. So I appreciate you showing up, Heath. Not a lot of guys have the courage and intestinal fortitude to show up in the opposing team's chat and tip their hats. So much appreciated, sir. Says a lot about you and more about the fan base than what we've seen as a Georgia fan. I got lambasted by Michigan fans before that game started. So I had to make a little video poking back. So that was fun. But just so you know, sir, you were one of the ones I was talking about at the end of the video where I said some of you guys are cool. Yep. What position did you play if you played football? I played cheerleader quality control. That's what I played. Yeah. I tried out for football. And it conflicted with way too many other things I was doing. I was on the cross country team. I was on the wrestling team. I was in JROTC. I was on the drill team. I was on the Raider squad. And I was all at color guard, and I was always busy. And football is something that takes up a tremendous amount of time. So it was basically play all the other sports I wanted to play or play football. And so I ended up picking all the other stuff. Next year, Georgia football team going to be trash. Well, if by trash you mean, a good football team, then sure. Let's see. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the Michigan game. I think Georgia did a great job. I kind of covered that a little bit in some of the other videos, but I just wanted to do another little thank you here to the Michigan team. That's a good quality football team. Jimbo obviously has that team headed in the right direction. So watching those guys play out there, they played with heart. They played with passion the entire game. Hats off to those guys. Much appreciated. So now let's talk about the Georgia-Alabama matchup here. I'm not going to get into a whole lot. Hey, what's up, Pastor Dave? Appreciate you being here, sir. You guys feel free to use the PayPal, the Super Chat, the whatever. If you guys want to have your stuff highlighted, get after it. There's a ton of people in here, and it's going to be hard to get everybody's content because it's going to roll by. This dude really said color guard. What's wrong with color guard, sir? I need you to explain that one to me. We are going to stop the chat until we address this. No, I was not a yell leader, pizza woman. I was trying to date all the cheerleaders. Failed miserably, but I tried. What's wrong with color guard? Somebody tell me. My man went silent on me. So whenever you have a basketball game or you have a football game or you have a graduation ceremony or any of those things, kind of soft is all. I don't know if you're talking about color guard or not. Color guard is the group of cadets that present the colors, and it's more about no, I never stood on the sidelines and yelled through a megaphone. Never stood on the sidelines at all, sir. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's more about precision and doing something to the best of your ability, and you practice presenting the colors. I don't know how many times. Everybody has to march in step. You can't look down. You have to keep looking straight forward. Everybody has to be in sync, and there's competitions for this stuff, and it's extremely hard to get right. It's to be able to present the colors, especially if you have a lot of respect for the people that died for that flag, then you take that as a very serious thing. So being on the color guard meant a lot. I was one of the guys that when I got to my duty station, I actually volunteered to go up to post headquarters in the morning and put the flag up on post. It's an honor to be able to raise the American flag every morning to start the day of the entire post. So to me, hey, I really thought it was a pretty cool thing. So, but if you think something's wrong with color guard, I'd love to hear your explanation as to why. So yeah, I went to school in Southwest Georgia, sir. Were you those people waving colorful flags in the air for the band? No, that is called flag and dance, I believe, or something like that. I was an amazing ballet in high school. Still can fit in the tutu. More like Toto. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. there is let's get back to the game. So talking about the game, there is a as about the 40 games, it's like match Super 5. Super 5, thanks for your service, sir. Appreciate that. JT to Nebraska, possibly. The interesting thing about this game is, and I'm seeing a lot of people jump up and down talking about. Some people are saying we shouldn't even play this game, and they're saying that we shouldn't play this game because we already know who's going to win. And I'm just like, well, I can understand why you might say that, but my next question is if that's the case, then why does Vegas have Georgia favored? Vegas doesn't care anything about college football. They care about money, and they're looking at something different. They go through all of the stats, power ratings, all this other stuff. Much more so than we do. Ratings will be in the dumps because we all know Alabama's going to win. I don't know that I believe that, sir. I believe this could be a very close game. I think this would be a very interesting game. Trenches says, who says that? Make an argument then on who the two best teams in the nation, if not UGA and BAMA. The man got a point. But here's a question without anybody looking it up. I want you guys to tell me who you think the 5 most passing efficient quarterbacks in the country are. And list them in this. Who do you think the number 1 most efficient passing quarterback is in the country? Nobody's going to get this. Without looking it up, nobody's going to get it. Kenny Pickett. Nope. Come on, guys. Give me some guesses here. Pastor Dave says, I think Georgia will win this, and I'm a Bama fan. You never see that happen. Stetson number 1. No, that's not right. That's not right. What's going on, Shelly Mack? It's not Stetson Bennett. Did y'all see the post-game Michigan crowd was yelling Stetson? No, I didn't know that. Somebody said, though, that if we win the national championship, the number 1 selling cologne next year is going to be Stetson. It's not the dude from Western Kentucky. It's not. Nope. It's not Bryce. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share a screen. Here we go. So you guys can see that the number 1 guy in the country, according to NCAA.com, is Grayson McCall, Coastal Carolina. Number 2 is C.J. Stroud, Ohio State. Number 3, and this one stunned me, Hendon Hooker at Tennessee. I couldn't believe that. And then I looked at it, I was like, you know what? Actually, that's right. Number 4, Stetson Bennett. And number 5, Bryce Young. Now, that absolutely blew my mind. Could not believe that Stetson Bennett was a number 4 ranked quarterback in the country in passing efficiency. And I think this really goes to show that there is a lot of people out there who have not given Stetson Bennett the benefit of the doubt. No, because her phone was busy. I will call in the morning, but she should be fine. So you're looking at Stetson Bennett being more efficient than the quarterback he's fixing to play. Now you're going to say, yeah, we lost the first one, and that's fine. But I think that there is something to be said for Stetson Bennett being able to perform as well as he has, basically under the radar. I think Stetson has 5 touchdowns and 5 picks versus Bama. Maybe. But I'm just telling you right now that CJ Stroud has a ridiculously efficient efficiency rating in the Rose Bowl game. Now, keep in mind, Stetson Bennett is still technically more efficient than Bryce Young, and he's already played against Bryce Young. So, that's a really interesting fact to me, at least, to look at that and say, hey, Stetson Bennett is a lot better than what we gave him credit for. He made some outstanding plays in the Michigan game. The question is can he do it during the Shelly Mack, you took the words right out of my mouth. The question is can he do it during the game? Spartan Martinelli says Michigan got mollywopped by Georgia. Yeah, I think that's true. So, yeah. Just a couple of weeks ago, you UGA fans were saying that the SEC champ game was a real quarterback versus a fake quarterback. Absolutely. And then after seeing what we saw in the Michigan game, I have revised my opinion. And I mean, every scientist reserves the right to alter his theory based on new data. We're starting to get a lot of these. We're starting to get a lot of the what you call it in here in the chat, guys. If you're a mod and you see somebody with like the VOR.RED, just go ahead and block them for me if you would, guys. Because it's somebody just spamming the chat with bots. Is all it is. But he didn't change anything. I thought he would do more of the same game. So one game don't make a player. You're right. But whenever that quarterback is put under the right circumstances, this shows that he can perform. So what's going on, Jay Martin? If you want to go back and look at how Bryce Young performed in the Auburn game, then you would say, man, this guy had a ton of yards, but they only had 10 points. And so you would say a bot is a robot. It is an automated program that, puts nonsense in your chat for whatever reason, trying to get people to click on stuff. So, yeah. So I think a couple of weeks ago, we had one guy who was constantly in the chat. He kept changing names. And it took us about 30 minutes to finally get that guy to just get bored and give up. Derek Stevens. Super troll Derek Stevens says, congratulations, Alabama, for winning their 14th natty. Thought you guys had like 22 or 23 of those. Stephen Carr says, are the Dogs going to do it this year? Go Dogs. Very well could. Certainly has a possibility. So looking at what's going on, the Georgia game, everything looked really good except the second quarter of that game. We had it was in the second quarter where the game got away from us. My house can be loud sometimes. So the difference between a good player and a great player is mindset and performance. Stetson is moving from good to a great category. Yep. Am I going to the game? No, I am not going to the game, sir. I can't afford to. Is someone activating bots? It certainly looked like it. JJDN8 or Donate. I'm not sure how you say that. I love this channel. It's entertaining. I don't need my team to win to watch. I appreciate that. Bryce Young's incredible 1 minute comeback to go into overtime will go down as one of the best comeback games in history. It was a heck of a game, and I thought Alabama was done that game. Yeah, I'm not sneaking into no national championship game. Are you crazy? I understand. Got my trip. Yeah, 24 points was a killer for us. That game, even though Georgia got beat the way they got beat, there was 2 times where Georgia should have scored and we didn't. Nice profile, Brett. I appreciate that, sir. I guess you mean, are you talking about this? Are you talking about this picture up here? Let's see if I can turn that a little bit. That right there. My daughter drew that. She owes me another one too. Is it on the back of this? There's one behind it. There's that one too. So that'll probably fall off in a minute, but yeah. Tickets are ridiculous. But that's because it's Georgia, Alabama. It's Georgia, Alabama. So the thing that I'm looking at is there was a big question on how well Georgia was going to bounce back after the Michigan game. I mean, after the loss to Alabama and then play in the Michigan game. And Georgia bounced back, not just bounced back well, bounced back exceedingly well. So Georgia comes out, absolutely plays lights out. They look like the team we had watched all season. And this was not a small game. And honestly, it's at this point, it's getting a little bit ridiculous that I appreciate that, Hummus. I actually enjoy when people troll me. It keeps it interesting. If everybody just agrees with me, it's kind of boring. You can't say anymore that Georgia can't win big games. This was a big game, and Georgia won that game. So I don't understand it. The Arkansas game was a big game. Georgia won that game. Oh, this game is a big game. Georgia wins that game. Oh, this game's a big game. Georgia wins that game. Oh, you're playing the Big Ten champion. Georgia's going to get body bag. Georgia wins that game. Oh, they weren't as good as we thought. And so at some point, you kind of got to go, the only team that can consistently beat Georgia has been Alabama. That's it. Jay Martin says, I'm just passing time for game time. I'm not up for any analysis, just ready to play on the field. I'm with you on that, man. Georgia has won the SEC before. Absolutely. What's up, T-Money? So at this point in the show, I think we've been in about 30 minutes. Go ahead and hit like, subscribe, and share if you would. Send it to a Facebook group. You don't have to send it to your mainstream. Send it to Twitter. Throw it out there. Appreciate it, guys. I'm really trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the season, and I can't do it without you guys. I need you guys' help. Derek Stevens, Brett, Georgia couldn't beat Alabama in the SEC championship. What makes you think they're going to be able to beat them in the national championship? Well, multitude of reasons. Number one, I think that Georgia has an opportunity or has had an opportunity to look at what they did wrong in that game and make adjustments. When you're the team who wins, it's hard to make any adjustments because what you did was working. Why would you really change it? So Georgia is now had the opportunity to make those adjustments. Georgia was not rushing Bryce Young. They were sitting back trying to protect against the pass. The problem is that Bryce Young, if he's a Heisman winner. I mean, you give him 3, 4, 5 seconds to find somebody open, he's going to find somebody open. And so that kind of contained quarterback mentality that we had doesn't work against Bryce Young. Bryce Young is still a freshman quarterback. So because he's a freshman quarterback, he can still get flustered and has in multiple games. He gets been sacked, I think, 9 times or 8 times in the last 3 games. And that's if you include the fact that he got sacked 0 times against Georgia. Georgia's offense looked tired. I don't know if they were feeling under the weather. I don't know if they didn't take the game seriously. But the Georgia team that we saw in the Alabama SEC championship game didn't look – Alabama was doing what it needed to do, but Georgia was not helping itself. We did not look like the same team that we saw in every other game we played. Just like the Alabama team that we saw play against Texas A&M is not like the Texas A&M that we saw all season. So it stands to reason that that is more of an outlier rather than the rule. And I really think that's why Vegas has them favored. Also coupling the fact that Alabama could be without 3 of its starting offensive linemen, one of them being the center for a freshman quarterback. One of them could be the center. So we don't know. We don't know. Robert Smith says the whole O-line was actually sick during the SEC championship game. I've heard that, but I can't confirm that. I don't know. Matt Glenzie says, don't give us that under the weather excuse. Okay, then explain to me, sir. And I'm not saying let's take the whole SEC championship game out and let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about the 4 teams that you guys played that Georgia also played that Georgia absolutely smashed. And Alabama barely escaped half of them. So when you have a direct comparison among 4 teams and Georgia has trashed them and Alabama has just barely beaten some of them, that's usually a pretty good indication on which team should be the better team. So to me, that would tend to point towards Georgia had a bad game, Alabama had a good game. Now, you could argue for whatever reason, Georgia was sick, Georgia didn't care, Alabama was just better that day. That's fine. But what you can't say is that, hey, Alabama's just that much better and has been all season, because that's just not the case. It's just not. Taking UGA for the natty. There you go. The third string center played against Georgia in the championship game. That may be true. Not a single time this year did anyone say Georgia should have lost that game. Can't say that about Bama. That is absolutely true. That is, you know what? Let me go and help you out with that one right there. Bam. Not a single time this year did anyone say Georgia should have lost that game. Can't say that about Bama. The only game that they say Georgia should have lost that game was at the end of the Alabama game, because we play like crap. Nate the Great said he is absolutely beyond embarrassed. I don't blame you, sir. I don't blame you. I'd be embarrassed too. Georgia did go ahead 10-0, but Georgia's defense just after that first quarter fell apart, man. It was just tired. And you can see it out there. When you got a guy who can run 20 miles an hour, who's an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, and then all of a sudden you see him and he's standing there with his hands on his hips, breathing heavy, playing every third or fourth snap. I don't think that guy is out of shape in a week. I don't think that was the case. And then you see how he played in this. You see how he played in the Orange Bowl. There's no way he got back in shape that fast. What's going on, BVD? Hey, guys, if you have an opportunity, go over and check out BVD. This guy, man, what a fighter this guy is. If you want to follow somebody who's got some real heart and is just as realistic and as real as you can get, if you want his opinion, he'll absolutely give it to you. He'll tell you the truth, good, bad, or otherwise. Die-hard Tennessee fan. Love this guy. Glad to have you in here, sir. So go over there and subscribe to Big Vol Daddy. Good dude. Good dude. Remember the year the Giants and the Patriots played before the Super Bowl? Pats won this regular season, but the Giants won the Super Bowl. Yep. Let's see. Bryce Young is very good, and we know who Saban is, but UGA is going to be ready. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Georgia certainly has an opportunity to go out here and win this game, and one might even say Georgia has an opportunity to go out here and dominate this game. That's certainly true too. Georgia has a whole litany of players on its team that are probably going to go pro after this game, win or lose. Alabama's probably going to have the same. This is an extremely talented Georgia team. This is a very talented Alabama team, and I know some people are going to get upset when I say this. I believe the numbers pan out that Georgia is actually more talented this year. And I get the whole Nick Saban, 25,000 titles. I get it. But at some point, the talent on the field does matter. And if you look at the consistency of how Georgia has played all year, with the exception of the Alabama game, that's a better team. If you look at how Alabama has played, with the exception of the SEC championship game, that's a worse team. To me, it is Georgia's to lose. Georgia has to show up and do what it's supposed to do. I believe this time you're going to see Georgia dial up the pressure. You're going to see the middle linebackers. You're going to see those guys coming after Bryce Young versus where they really weren't doing that before. Oh, you guys are going to lose a couple. I'm not saying you guys are going to lose as near as many as Georgia, but you're going to have some players go to the NFL or transfer. That just happens every year at Alabama. There's so much talent there. What's up, Chiquito? BVD says, guys, I just wanted to drop in on my way to bed and say, hi, y'all rock. I got to get off this foot. Get off that foot. Get it up in the air, sir. Get some elevation. Get your medication. Get some rest, and look forward to seeing you recover quickly, sir. You know, I'm really miss Megan Mullen. Georgia's going to have to score 40. How do they do that when Alabama can stop that offense? I'm not sure Alabama can stop that offense. If you look at the drop pass against Stetson Bennett, played a terrible game, and we had a drop pass by Brock Bowers in the end zone. That wasn't Stetson's fault, and that wasn't anything that Alabama really did to break that pass up. So, I mean, that easily could have been 31. So it's not like you really stopped the offense. Georgia's averaging 40-something points a game against everybody else. You're going to take a little bit of a hit when you play elite teams. I think it'll be fine. If the SEC championship game tallest if the SEC championship game taught us anything, it's that Georgia can't win against Bama. I don't know that it taught us that. I think Georgia had a bad game. I played sports. No two games are ever the same. When you lose to a certain team the same year, it makes you focus more. I agree. There's a lot out there, and you can look at statistics this way, that way, or the other. But I really think that whenever you take a loss, when you're a really, really good football team and you take a loss, it can galvanize a team. It can make them more focused. It can make them sharper. It can make them more driven. And that appears to be what we saw happen in the with Georgia against Michigan. And more likely than not, they're even more laser focused now because after the bounce back, now they've got some confidence back. Trish just said, we have Stetson. It doesn't matter what is the tallest. Do I really think Bama is getting held to 20? I'm not sure about being held to 20, but I think it's possible that if anybody does it, Georgia does. You're talking one of the greatest defensive teams probably the last 5 or 6 years in Georgia. I think the mistake we made was a coaching mistake. It was a tactic mistake. I think that's going to get corrected and changed up. I think that Georgia, I agree with Chip. I think that Georgia thought that its middle linebackers could handle the slot receivers, and they couldn't. And that's why they got burned so many times. We know, Derek, we're just trolling you, buddy, like you're doing us. Big Dog, didn't Auburn and UGA play twice a few years ago, and didn't they swap wins? That is correct. One of the things that I thought was absolutely unique is that if Georgia beats Alabama this particular season, what you're going to see is a mirror of kind of what happened a few years back whenever Alabama went to the national championship. So Alabama doesn't play in the SEC championship, but gets into the college football playoff and then wins the national championship. Georgia was the SEC champion that year, but lost the national championship. So this year, Georgia loses the SEC championship game, so Bama's the SEC champ. But if Georgia wins that, you get a mirror reflection. One's an SEC champ, but the other one's a national champ. It flips. There's a better chance of Jesus coming back than Georgia beating Bama. I don't know any Jesuses, but I'm sure that we could probably find one or two for you. So I'm not seeing what Brett is reading. Weird. Homegrown Cowboy, that's because this is being simulcast on 3 channels. My channel, the SEC Voice of College Football, and Georgia Voice of College Football channels. So I'm just simulcasting on those. Mark Rogers has been kind enough to allow me to have access to those guys to just contribute to the community so I can get more content out for everybody who likes watching, crazy people like me. So Georgia will put it on us this time. Brett got channels for days. Must be nice, big ball. I am not big ball, and I am just thankful to have people who are, that have been kind enough to allow me to do some videos with them. Speaking of which, I'm supposed to be doing a video this Friday with Dean Legge, who is the main contributor over at Dog Post. So go check him out. What's up, Steve Pearson? I got your message earlier, sir, but I couldn't dive into it. I was driving. What's up, Ed? What up, big? What up, Brett? Dogs winning. What's up, Mike Taylor? Kirby should bring Snit. Let him talk to the team. Braves beat the Dodgers finally. Maybe you could help them in the mental aspect. I think that got adjusted for Georgia whenever they lost. I really do. And I have heard, and I'm not saying this is the reason, and I'm not making any excuses. I do not want this to come off that way. But I have heard from more than one source that Georgia's offensive line was sick, and now I'm really starting to question how much legitimacy that has. Ugh, stay away from Dean. Hey, I don't know if you know this about Dean Legge. The guy's kind of a walking encyclopedia, and he's also he's been doing college football so long, he gets the vote. He gets a Heisman vote. That is correct. He voted for Bryce Young. He gets a vote for Heisman. So, regardless of what your opinion is of Dean, I like him. Why do we need a rematch? Georgia shouldn't have beat Bama the first time. Dean Legge. No. Georgia should bring in Herschel to do a moto speech. Yeah, maybe. They probably will. I will say that this year there was not as near as many super elite players at the quarterback position across the country as we would have liked to have seen. And by the way, man, really feel bad for Matt Corral going out and getting injured. Let's see. I'm going to look that up real quick. Injury update. I just want to know what happened to him real quick. Lane Kivy. Looks like I thought it was a sprained ankle. Let's see, what was it? X-rays are negative. Awesome. Man. So let's see. Back up here. Injury. Just an ankle sprain. We're good. We're good. Sprained his ankle. Happy to hear that. He's likely going to be a first-round draft pick. If not 1, 2, or 3 in the draft, he'll be up there. He'll be up there. Oh, Trenches, you're killing me. How many rushing yards did UGA have? Stetson Bennett isn't the issue. His support on offense was. How many rushing yards did Georgia have? I want to say we had like right around 100 or a little more. I don't disagree that, Georgia's run game needs to improve, or we need to come up with a better game plan. I think one of the things that you might see happen in this game is you're going to see a lot more of the Brock Bowers type situations with Darnell Washington in there. I have seen the triple tight end set a few times, running RPOs, running counters. It's been pretty interesting watching the way Georgia's offense has developed. You can tell that Todd Monken has seen something in some of the younger players like Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, and he continues to use them. He doesn't just say, okay, we got Jermaine Burton back out there, Ladd McConkey to the bench and never catch a pass the rest of the season. He's willing to use whatever he's got out there. What is the longest run from line? I'm not sure, Johnson. But what's going to end up happening is that Georgia has to play far better defensively than we played the last game against Alabama, and I think we will. I think Georgia learned a lot. In some ways Georgia hasn't been tested that way, and we tried a different game plan, and it just didn't work. That's what happened in the second quarter. That we got burned by that game plan, and then Georgia made an adjustment, and we still weren't able to get it going the way we wanted to, but we definitely slowed it down. Do you think that Georgia's defense is built to stop an offense like Ohio State? I think that whenever you've got great players, you can certainly build a defense to stop that kind of offense, but we'll see what happens. Mike Taylor says, smash that visor. What visor? Are you talking about this visor? This one? This one? Yeah. Here's another one of them bots. Block. I got block on it. Ed Ogeron says, I'm 100% sure Georgia wins. He said the fix is in. Dog in Texas says, Big Dog Brett, let's do this. Go Dogs. I think this will be James Cook's day. I really hope he shines. More than 130 yards combined, rush receiving. So I agree with you. Georgia's certainly got some weapons. I'm really interested to see if we can utilize George Pickens. I want to see. Listen, guarantee you, Nick Saban right now is coming up with a plan to stop Brock Bowers. That is their key to success, is to stop Brock Bowers. Sergeant AR, what's going on, sir? Stetson, minute 4 runs for 2 touchdowns. Wouldn't that be nice? What I have noticed is that as this game progresses, all right, you mods, I need y'all to, when you see this VOM red or whatever this is, man, you got to kick these guys out of here. Block them. George Pickens is an athlete among athletes. The guy's insane. Kirby wears ladies' golf visors. I don't get it. It's because it has a wider brim. I'll show you. So this is a typical visor, right? This is a typical visor. And as a coach, and I've coached a little bit of football. As a coach, when you're outside, that wider visor gives you more shade. It keeps the sun out of your eyes. That's why you get used to it. And it's more about just keeping the sun out of your face. So he gets accustomed to wearing them, and that's just what he likes. Get that man a bucket hat. Ooh, I got on my 2020 All-State Sugar Bowl champion shirt when we beat the Cincinnati Bearcats last year. I got to get me an Orange Bowl shirt for this year and hopefully a national championship shirt. Now, over on my my Teespring store, which is Big Dog Brett's Doghouse, if you look at the description of some of my videos, you'll find the link to that. And I'm making some gear for when Georgia wins that game. It'll be released. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I think you guys will like it. Pickens needs to go off for real. He looks ready. He does look ready. He's played in several games, and it's been like 2 or 3 months. I think they're just trying to be careful with him. Waiting on my Orange Bowl hat still being processed. Wake up, fanatics. Yeah, they're not the fastest in the world. So what's crazy is that, for those of you who don't know, that during these games, like the Sugar Bowl games, the Peach Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, Citrus Bowl, the New Year's Six Bowl, all these bowls, they go ahead and they make and they do it for the Super Bowl and World Series and all this other stuff. All these big games, national championship game, there is gear that is already made with that team winning for both sides. And then whichever team loses, they take that stuff out immediately and they send it overseas to like Africa and stuff. So yeah. And you can't buy it in the United States. I didn't know that, Hummus. Buddy Sniper says, oh, I see. My question is, why do coaches wear baseball hats, but you never see baseball coaches wearing football helmets? I just read that. That's great. Good luck from a Bama fan in the Philippines. I don't know what you're doing over there, sir, but if you're in the military, I appreciate you, man. Where's Lamb McConkey? He has to step up. They got to throw it to him. I mean, the man can't just magically, make a reception if they ain't throw the ball to him now. Well, UGA is doing the Lord's work. That's the Lord's work. Speaking of which, I think tomorrow I'm going to get me some of the Lord's chicken. It's a Chick-fil-A, man. Great chicken. OSU lost because they weren't physical enough. Well, let's be serious. Maybe true. Dog in Texas says, absolutely, if they focus on Bowers, do you think they will try and feature more of Darnell? They tried to feed him a little more the last few games. Darnell's a beast, man. I don't know if his hands are quite as good as Bowers, but Bowers is one of those guys where he is deceptively good. Like, you think he's going to, he's just running out there like most tight ends doing it. All of a sudden, here's the ball. And when that guy, I think he's like 6'7". And the middle linebackers are never 6'7". So if you get a lineup for a middle linebacker or, any linebacker really against Brock Bowers, if Stetson throws it a little high across the middle, Brock Bowers can catch it. It's not really even a 50-50 ball. It's just, can he hang on it till he hits the ground? And the guy's hands are so big, it's normally not a problem. Trenches says, 83 people hit the thumbs up, y'all. I appreciate that, Trenches. If Caleb Williams comes to UGA, do you think he will start? No. And I don't think Caleb Williams should come to UGA. I really don't. I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but Georgia has multiple 5-stars already. They're, at the end of this season, they'll already have another 5-star quarterback. Georgia currently has 3 5-star quarterbacks lined up to be here, either at, however you want to look at it, at the end of the season, beginning of next season, whatever. And so to throw Caleb Williams in there, be 4 5-star quarterbacks, I don't know. And here's the crazy thing. Stetson Bennett doesn't have anywhere to go. He's liable to come back next year. So what do you do? What's going on, Michael Hogue? What's going on, sir? checking something real quick. Hey, by the way, if you're still here, if you haven't made it in this far, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Really appreciate you guys being here. We are trying to get to 5K. Need you guys' help to do it. Let's see. Reading some of the chat here. Give sorry the Heisman away from Bryce. This man in 3 weeks went from Anderson, Hutchinson back to Anderson. This dude is the truth. Hey, Sean, how are you doing tonight? And I have to say, I think that he stays at Oklahoma. Who knows? Caleb Williams should visit South Carolina just to troll Rattler. That would be hilarious. Stetson Bennett is going to have to be really good Monday night. No, Stetson Bennett does not have to be really good Monday night. I would love for him to be really good Monday night, but he doesn't have to be really good Monday night. Stetson Bennett just has to play good. He doesn't have to play elite. He just has to play good. The defense is what needs to play well. If you gave me a choice between Stetson Bennett playing out of his mind or the defense playing out of their mind, I'm going to take the defense every time. Does any quarterbacks from Georgia enter the transfer portal, in your opinion, Brett? Probably JT Daniels, if he doesn't go pro. What's up with the injuries to the Bama O-line? Don't know, and you're probably not going to find out because Nick Saban is famously tight-lipped when it comes to things like that. Famously tight-lipped. So Bama's going to be down Mechie. They're also going to be down 2 to 3 offensive linemen. You know, granted, they got a lot of guys coming in to play backup, but, I mean, if Georgia's defense is in better condition than they were in the last game we played, Georgia very well could be a lot more physical, a lot more dominant than they were. There was times when Michigan tried to go hurry up, but Georgia was well prepared for it, and it was good to see that Georgia had made those adjustments. To me, the defense looked like it did whenever they played Clemson, and the offense just got finally clicking. Yep. If Kirby loses this game, is he on the hot seat? No. How could he be? How could he be? Appreciate it for re-upping there, Alex, and have a good night, sir. So you got a coach who's averaging, 10, 11, 12 wins a season. He's taking you to the national championship game twice in 4 years. He's recruiting 5-star players all over the place. He's putting players in the NFL draft. He's raised the UGA brand significantly. No, I don't think there's any way you can get rid of him at all. Yes, Jaden, I do. Because Georgia kicked a field goal, and Georgia had a pick six. That made it, 10 to 3. So no, I think that Stetson would have done just fine in that. I think if you go back and you watch that game, you'll actually see that JT Daniels was kind of limp arming a lot of that stuff. He wasn't putting a lot on it. There was a couple of times he made some passes downfield that looked pretty good. There was a couple of times he made some really weird looking passes, and it looks like he was injured. Come to find out after that game, he was injured, and that's why. So yeah. He said it sucks the Dogs made it to the Natty and he's stuck in San Antonio. Y'all, people out here are salty as you know what that we have a SEC championship. Yep. The Texas fans are just mad at they're joining the SEC at the wrong time. They're joining the SEC at the wrong time. Yeah, Robert Smith is absolutely correct. If UGA got rid of Kirby, there would be at least 7 other teams firing head coaches tomorrow to get Kirby. There is no doubt in my mind. There is not another team in the SEC not named Alabama or Georgia that wouldn't fire their coach tomorrow to take Kirby Smart. There's not a team in the country, really. You might say Ohio State. You might say Michigan. Maybe Clemson. So Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Michigan. The rest of them would fire their head coach to have Kirby. And probably only 3 of those, Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson, would be the only 3 teams that wouldn't immediately fire their head coach to hire Nick Saban. So, oh yeah, absolutely Miami will fire Cristobal. No doubt about it. I don't think there's a coach in the nation that loves college football, that loves college. He coaches more than Kirby. You know what? I have to agree. I think there's been times I've saw some coaches that get super fired up about it. What's up, 225 girl? As long as we have Kirby, we'll always be in the mix. Correct. So, well, guys, rocked on about an hour here. We are going to call it a night. I'm going to have some more videos coming out. Please, please, please share the videos. That is the only way that I get new exposure. The YouTube algorithm does pretty good, pretty good recommending, but that's probably not going to get me to the 5K. So if you guys have appreciated all the content I've made over the years, share it here, there, and help me get to 5K. Don't forget to subscribe to Mark Rogers, Voice of College Football, SEC, and Voice of College Football, the Georgia channels. Go check out Mark Rogers. He got a ton of stuff. Don't forget to go check out Chip Towers on Twitter and go check out Dog Post. Go check out BVD. Go check out Between the Trenches. And, yeah, good people. It's going to be a good game for sure. The know-it-all. I appreciate that. All right, guys, we're going to send you guys off here in just a second. Let me do something real quick. I know a lot of you guys are going to jump out. That's okay. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to do this for you. Hang on. We're getting there. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to let you guys hang out for a little bit, talk some smack. All right, guys. So, appreciate everybody who's made it this far. Really appreciate you guys for sticking around, being great friends, being great supporters. All you guys are awesome. It's been a wonderful year so far. Can't knock anything yet. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Couldn't do it without you. Oh, yeah. And you know what? You know what we say around here? Have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.
You meant the world to me. You meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. You meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I give you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Memories die out too hard. We were traveling mountains just to find the loudest seas. We set out by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.